you know you're dealing with a sociopath, work out what their agenda is. What are they trying to do? And for most sociopaths, all you have to do is ask them. This is not hard. I'm a consultant. I'm working for you. What are you trying to achieve here? What do you want? Do you want a bigger department? Do you want your personal pay to increase? Do you want to consume another department? And if you actually ask that outright, my experience is that they'll be very honest with you. Something a lot of people look at me weird when I say I quite enjoy working for sociopaths because I find them very straight and predictable. Normal people are the ones that tend to have unclear objectives, and it's even then themselves don't know what they're actually doing. Where a sociopath will be very, very direct and have a clear objective. Once you know what the clear objective is, don't get in the way. This person's going to achieve it with you or without you. So if you want your career to do well, find out what the objective is and be instrumental to helping that objective. And if you do that, not only will they not attack you, they'll defend you. You'll actually end up with a super shield. The things that a sociopathic boss will do to protect someone underneath them is incredible. If they see that person as valuable, all sorts of dirty tricks will be used to protect and help you, and your career will skyrocket. I've watched people in the bank literally double their salary in 12 months, purely by aligning themselves with a sociopathic manager. And if you do that, you'll end up with a very easy work life.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And then for leaders and HR professionals or organizations, what changes can they make to ensure that those traits do not damage the culture or company, but also leverage it to their advantage?
You definitely don't want to kill it because it does help a company. What you want to stop is the hidden behaviors. Like an example I just gave where there was a director who had a personal objective that didn't line up with the corporate's objective. So they're not going to do that if they know it's visible. So visibility and knowledge sharing is probably the most important thing. Maybe you're a better person than that other person. But odds are, if you're actively attacking someone, that's not good for the business. How can we stop that? You make it visible. So instead of having closed silos where everything is hidden off in little meeting rooms, you try and make the entire company aware of everything that is happening in the company. As much information as possible should be freely available. This is good for businesses in general. Businesses that are good at information sharing are statistically more profitable. It's as simple as that. The better you are at sharing means you go, I should go talk to this guy. This guy's the expert in whatever technology. And that will save 2 weeks on my project. And that only happened because I knew about that person existing. How would you do that practically? The model I really like is moving people around, junior and even up to mid-level, saying, okay, your job is you're a programmer in IT. However, for 4 weeks of the year, you need to go find 4 other departments to go live in. So I want you to go spend a week in marketing. I want you to spend a week in finance. I want you to spend a week in HR, and I want you to spend a week in operations. And by doing that, you create there's a couple of advantages. One of them is that obviously when they come back to the IT department, they're going to have connections in those departments and go, look, this is an operations problem. Darren runs that. Let's go talk to him. They're going to have knowledge and awareness of other business functions. You're just going to get more ideas and cross-sharing. And if there are dodgy things happening, it's going to get harder and harder and harder to hide them. It also forces you as a department. So if I then have these random people coming into my department, it forces me to be a lot better at training. It forces me to be a lot better at knowledge sharing. Okay, you've entered a programming group. This is what we're working on. This is how we manage the tasks. This is how we get the requirements. This is how we manage productivity. And I have to get much better at sharing that knowledge, which is something that, interestingly, good managers are very, very bad at. So if you are a really good manager, your staff loves you, what happens is you get stability and you can have 2 or 3 years without having to make a hire. And if you haven't made a hire within 2 or 3 years, you haven't had to interview, you haven't had to explain anything, you haven't had to share. So by having these people that are rotating through, it forces you to constantly rethink about your team and your department. I think that's the best practical answer that's easy to implement.